Hey everybody, it's Chugga Conroy. Welcome back to more Kid Icarus Uprising. In the last episode, we got here to the Underworld Castle, and we rematched Medusa's original 3 commanders. We took them all down. And now, in this episode, the true path to Medusa has been revealed. Let's go for it! Right off the bat, we're gonna have kind of a challenge here. We gotta call in and fill immediately, so we gotta do melee the smaller enemy back in the larger one. As per usual. They seem to be like using this guy lately, and I really don't like that though because I am so bad at doing melee attacks at will. Of course, it doesn't say that I'd take him out, no problem. I'm gonna drop a melon for you as soon as you beat him down. There's also the spike ball right here. I'd like to save that for just a moment because while it is indeed a very good item, it makes a spike ball orbit around you just so that you can, you know, be invulnerable to close range damage. It's kind of more helpful here in a minute. You'll see what I mean. Come on, Specknose. How do you take that much fire? Jeez. I mean, God, it's not like it's a Clever Skull. Okay. Suit of Scuttler and a bunch of shoot flies. Suit of Scuttlers only hurt you when you're up near them. They have a sensitive back. Shoot flies also only attack you when you shoot. So that's why I recommend having the spike ball. It will give you free damage on the back of the Suit of the Scuttler if it's surrounding you. It also can deflect some shoot flies. Shoot flies will also go down if you defeat the Suit of Scuttler. But that does it for this area. Let's move on to this cave and see what's here for us.
I find it very ironic that you would call yourself the goddess of light. After all, it was you who turned me into a monster. It was you who hunted me down.
You shouldn't blame me for that. I only reflected in your appearance what I saw in your heart.
And what about your heart? I can only imagine what resides there.
Why just imagine it? Don't you have the power to make it a reality?
There's no point. We all know it would be some sort of hideous creature.
You shut your mouth, Medusa! Lady Palutena is nothing like you! Who turns people to stone and poisons the rivers? Who reduces cities to rubble? And who is leading the underworld destruction of the land and heavens? Not Lady Palutena. You're the one responsible for all this, Medusa! But what I don't get is how you managed to resurrect yourself in the first place.
I suppose I don't really understand how that happened either.
Don't play dumb with me.
I don't remember what happened. My memories aren't what they were.
You're slipping, Medusa. Your mind isn't all there anymore. And I can sense that your life force is weaker than it used to be. Twin Bellows, Hudra, Pandora, and Thanatos have all been defeated. But if you withdraw your army and promise to stay in this castle, I will spare you.
Don't be ridiculous. Besides, it hardly matters how I return. What matters is why. To exact revenge on you. Turning your little angel into stone is a nice first step.
Threaten all you want. You don't scare me. I will put an end to you. I'll return to Skyworld victorious!
Yes, we will. Oh man, I'm so excited to get this going. We got a huge gauntlet, well not really a huge gauntlet though, but a gauntlet of enemies here all the same. Now we can finally shoot at the Suit of Scuttler. I almost said shoot of Scuttler. I gotta say, I feel really bad for the Suit of Scuttler right here. Just the fact that it's got like organs exposed in the back that look like they would really friggin' hurt to take damage, and we're just shooting them with arrows. I mean, can you imagine getting your organs impaled with it? Don't try to imagine that. I'll just stop right there. So that does it for this room. What do we got here? And oh, this. Okay. I remember this room. Yeah, we got an Eggplant Wizard to deal with here. I'm gonna grab this. This was foreshadowed in the Thanatos fight. This is an Atlas foot. What happens when we use it? Well, here we go. Boom! Yeah, a foot rains down from the sky and steps on everyone. It's probably the strangest enemy. It's probably the foot fetish weapon of choice. Wow, I can't believe I actually said that. Let's see if we can get rid of this Eggplant Wizard. Oh, that was, wow, that was cool. While trying to dodge out of the way, I just happened to shoot, and it was the shot that killed him because it went right where he teleported. That was kind of cool. Oh, 3 sacred treasures. How I love your shot homing. It's so, so nice to have that. And another Clever Skull that we need to defeat to advance. This is the 3rd one here. I mean, they were jerks when designing this place. I'm sorry, but 3 Clever Skulls that you need to defeat to advance. Really? You got a power-up drop right over here. That'll make it so that your attacks will do more damage for a little while. That is especially nice to have against the jerk enemies that are Clever Skulls. You have your Mega Laser for a reason, once again. Still got 2 uses of that left, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Especially because I know exactly what enemies I would want to use them against. So, come on, Clever Skull. Come on, you can die. It's not that difficult. Wow, that was actually kind of morbid when you really think about what I was saying there. But seriously, I don't want to fight more Clubber Skulls. It just... I'll be honest, actually. Wow, voice crack. I've been having a lot of those lately, actually. But I'll be honest, just because of the sheer number of, like, Clubber Skulls and stuff like that, I don't replay the stage very much in my own time. Like, I understand that it's Medusa's level and it's supposed to be challenging, but jeez, it's like, you think that's enough Clubber Skulls. Anyway, that pretty much does it for my rant.
But I had to get creative. It's going to be a wild ride, so good luck.
Don't worry, I'm ready.
Alright, up we go. This grind rail is especially generous. Remnants of Mega Man 3's Wily Castle with just how many items they're just gonna give you for free. Look at all those hearts. Not that I'm complaining, mind you, but still, I mean, Medusa, you really should put your hearts away when I'm coming over to visit, just saying. So, right here, I'm grinding on a rail, I am going through a loop-de-loop, moving super fast, and I am playing as the only character in this entire game who can't fly. Now do you see why I did Sonic and Kid Icarus right next to each other? It's like I planned it all from the start. Well, maybe. Maybe I just observed that later, but we're just gonna pretend like I was really that clever. Because I want to feel like I'm actually that clever. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of funny, though, just like how it's those two things together. But as we go off of this rail, let's do it. Ooh, rare treasure fish!
Getting closer, Pit.
There's nowhere left for you to run.
You know, I'm very much looking forward to your arrival. I feel like Rapunzel waiting for her prince.
Sorry to break it to you, but those aren't exactly golden locks on your head.
And you're not exactly a brave hero. Yet somehow the thought of our confrontation fills me with anticipation. So hurry to it. I'll strip you of your wings and sever you from the heavens forever.
I don't think so.
It's getting so intense in here. These Magmoos, really quick, I just want to say, these things suck. Do not run past them in narrow areas. You will get burned and you will take lots of damage, so do not take them lightly. As funny as their name Magmoo is, yeah. Anyway, I'm pretty sure this one is very, very obvious to most of you, but just in case it's not, Medusa is, of course, somebody from mythology. Medusa was known for having snakes on her head, and if you looked at her, you would be turned to stone just simply based on that. She has quite a few stories about her, and she's one of the more well-known mythological legends, so I don't really feel like I need to go into too much detail regarding her, but I just wanted to mention that nonetheless, just in case her name sounded familiar and you weren't really sure where she was from. So, indeed, she is a part of mythology. Let's get away from there. We got two Boogities here that we need to defeat to advance, and once again, Boogity. Come on, Boogity. Come on, Boogity, Boogity, Boogity. I still like how that sounded when I said it 3 times. I wasn't even trying to, like, say Boogity, Boogity, Boogity. It just came out like that. Alright. That's it for that. Time to move on. This area... Wow, pointless food is pointless. I didn't even need any health. I don't need your stinking health recovery game. I'm just doing that good. This area is weird. You got these lights on the floor that are showing you where you can walk and where you can't. And you have to step on, like, a switch that's, like, right in front of you to activate it. I never really got the point of, like, making you press the switch for that, though. It's right there. All it really does is just make you move, like, 1 inch to the side, and it's just, like, they don't really hide the switches or make you have to defeat enemies to get to them in the future, so I don't know why they did it like that, but anyway. This right here sucks. You got petrification and eggplantification together in the same room, and you are going to want to be really, really careful here. If you can knock it out. Oh, you also have deathification, it looks like. It sounds like I said defecation there, but no. If you defeat the Eggplant Wizard, all the other enemies in this room will fall, including the Orn, so that's actually a really nice way to get away from that Orn if you don't want to worry about it. Again, tons of insta-kill stuff.
There are hidden platforms nearby.
And this room right here,
First,
this room
reveal the
sucks.
platforms,
Just
then
saying.
dash up
If
to
you
the
do
ledge
not
to
know your
jump.
way around,
Well, that's easy.
this is probably my least favorite room in all of Medusa's castle. You can get shot while on these little platforms. They can knock you down the pits, and you didn't have any way to dodge. That over there is a Mimikyu. Don't go near it. Unless you want to take lots of damage. On top of that, you see there's 2 paths of rings ahead? If you take this right path, you're going to end up not making that jump 9 times out of 10. So I recommend dashing towards this ledge and just following this path instead. As long as you keep moving, you shouldn't have any trouble, but as we get up here, prepare to meet probably my favorite designed enemy.
Huh?
The heck is that? It's a Tempura Wizard.
A Tempura Wizard?
If he deep fries you, keep your distance. 1 bite and you'll be finished.
Well, that's a step up from Eggplant, I guess.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Wow. I actually got knocked off the cliff. That kind of sucked. That Tempura Wizard, if I would have defeated him, there'd be a Drink of the Gods and a treasure chest in these 2 pedestals. They're not needed for gold laurels, but I wanted to at least mention they're here because I wasn't able to collect them because that boogity launched me off the cliff. That kind of sucked, but yeah, Tempura Wizards are instant-kill enemies, but I kind of like them because they're a nice challenge, and well, I don't know, I like them a lot more than the Orns, because the Orns just feel kind of cheap in some of their placements. I mean, back in the Great Reaper Fortress, you had one of them that's in like a small room with poison on the ground, and I didn't really care for that though. But a Tempura Wizard, you are dodging them, and it really is based on skill rather than just where you have any position. Plus on top of that, I feel like the camera doesn't let you see Orns all the time. But as we're going through here, we got another Gauntlet of Enemies. They just seem to love putting these here. I mean, it is a shooter game, don't get me wrong, and it does kind of have a few beat-em-up elements here and there. But still, I kind of would rather not have these as often as we have. I should mention that you should definitely not be sparing with your powers. Against Medusa, not to spoil, you can't use your powers. So I would just like to say that if you feel like you need to use a power and you want to save it for the boss, definitely feel free to just use them, because against the boss, your powers don't matter. But as we're going through here, just because I'm kind of running out of things to talk about, fighting the same enemies over and over again, I want to talk about the 3 sacred treasures a little bit more, because there's a little bit more lore behind them than what I let on last time. You might notice that Pit is wearing a kind of like a gladiator helmet, and he also has a suit of armor on. And that just from having the 3 sacred treasures on, he just magically has the suit of armor. And yet no one ever seems to acknowledge it verbally. The reason for that is that the armor itself is actually one of the 3 sacred treasures itself. But it kind of also is not one of the 3 sacred treasures. It's very, very weird. But basically, there was a Game Boy game called Kid Icarus of Myths and Monsters. It was based on Metroid 2's engine, and it was only ever released in North America and Europe, never released in Japan. In that game, the 3 sacred treasures, the Mirror Shield was replaced with the silver armor. It would make you take half damage from enemy attacks. So there was no Mirror Shield, but there was the silver armor. That is what Pit is wearing here. It is the only reference to of Myths and Monsters in the entire game. And for a long time, I didn't even realize it. I pretty much figured that Of Myths and Monsters was considered non-canon by the Japanese dev team. But sure enough, it is actually mentioned here. This enemy here, the Arius. This is a reference to Furies from Greek mythology. They split apart, and they are these weird magical demon being type things. I'll show a picture of like what they look like on screen, that is if it's YouTube appropriate, because I swear to God, any sort of drawing of anything from mythology has boobs on it. Don't lie, they do. Anyway, we took them out. And that does it. We have our oh-so-necessary 1 square foot of red carpet okay, more like 6 square feet of red carpet, but still. This oh-so-necessary little red carpet here that opens up the final way. Just up these stairs is it. Let's go for it. Let's get our Drink of the Gods and head through the doors.
So we finally meet again. Pit.
She's huge!
Be careful!
Listen well, all you demons of the underworld! In the name of the goddess Palutena, the defender of all that is good, those who hide in the darkness will be made to face the light.
Fly, Pit! I'm going to try to get you closer.
Thank you kindly.
But Medusa's using her powers to hold you back. I know it's tough, but don't give up.
Here we go. This is it. Medusa. Starting off, she's going to be launching rubble at you. You can shoot at it to destroy it. You also want to get in the middle of those lasers.
You're still too far away.
She's so big that it's hard to get a feel for which shots will hit her.
And as we get up to her, she's going to try to start repelling us. You want to not move in the way of those spike balls. You want them to just fall off the screen, or you can fire near them to get rid of them. If you touch them, you will take really heavy damage. Luckily for me, they're on the edge of the screen most of the time, but just wanting to warn you, do not just move circular. Keep moving, but don't just move in circles. She'll also try launching these eyes at you in attempts to turn you to stone, but you can fire at them to nullify her shots. On top of this, you also have your special attacks. Use them.
Watch out! Yikes! Do you like that?
The good news is that I've chained Medusa's legs in place for you. The bad news is that you'll have to get up close and personal with her. You'll pay for that!
Now that she's chained down, she won't teleport away from us, so all we gotta do now is just dodge out of the way of her fire and just keep shooting her face. Nothing more complicated than that. Just don't get hit on the spike balls like before, and that should be it.
Her head!
Now this is the Medusa I remember.
She's hideous!
I can't believe she's still fighting like this, but this is a battle we cannot lose. You must overcome the darkness of the underworld with light.
The fight against evil ends here!
This is it, Medusa's last stand. This is a reference to her final battle against Perseus from mythology. Perseus detaches Medusa's head, uses it as a weapon, and then gives the head to the goddess Athena, who is the basis for Palutena. But starting this off, she's going to be launching these huge lasers at you. Remember, you do have your special attack to get rid of her fire. Use them. Just get away from her laser. Let's keep the heat on her eye. And as we continue flying around here, she's going to launch these skull shots at us just like Thanatos had. She doesn't have that many attacks, but you definitely do not want to take her lightly. She is goddess of the underworld after all. Alright. Now, she's going to reattach her head, just shoot her in the eye, and there you go! Medusa's fallen!
We did it! We really did it!
Congratulations! I know it wasn't always easy.
Oh, but it was so worth it. With the world at peace again, even the sun feels warmer.
Aw, you're so cute, Pit.
Now wait just a second.
Huh?
Did you hear something?
I said wait just a second.
Got to be hearing things.
Hades?
Who's Hades?
The true master of the underworld.
Sorry to keep you waiting. But now that I'm here, let's get this party started. Welcome to my underworld, Pretty Pat. You too, Pretty Palutena.
I'm honored you know who I am.
So this little angel took down Big Bad Medusa all by himself. What an accomplishment. Goodness, you should put this on your resume.
What's with this guy?
But before you do, you should know that I whipped up that Medusa especially for you.
Wait, how?
Add a pinch of memories to a ton of souls. Put them in a blender and hit frappe.
Explain yourself!
Her thirst for revenge was so great it seemed a shame to let it go to waste. Oh, Pretty Palutena, you must have done a real number on her.
I won't deny that.
But she's old news, and old news bores me. We must look to the future, and that future is me, the true leader of the underworld. Next to me, little Miss Medusa's going to look like a sweet, cuddly bunny.
No, this can't be happening.
I must bid you adieu.